Raider Nation, what's good? I'm hitting you with my pregame review of our Week 5 matchup against the Green Bay Packers. They're coming to our house Monday night, prime time. Raiders, we got 1-4 game. We got to pull this one off. Before we get into the review, if you do me a favor, like the video, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you know when I drop more videos. That's why this is huge. You hate to say that a game this early in the year is huge or has playoff implications, but this is it. This is the position we put ourselves in. Green Bay's a good team. They could take advantage of us either having bonehead mistakes, penalties. If we come out flat, if we can't finish the game, they're definitely a team that could take advantage of that. So we got to be on our game and we got to show up and we got to show out. We cannot go 1-4 if we want to have any shot at making the playoffs. So I'm going to hit you a little bit of a with the injury report. So some of the main players that have shown up on that injury report. I'll cover the Raiders first. So we got Devontae Adams last week. He went out in the first half after catching a pass. He went down. I think it went incomplete. Ball was a little behind. Looked like it could have been a wrist or possibly a shoulder injury, but he actually returned in the second half. So he's looking good to play. And look, it's Devontae's chance to play his old team, Green Bay. So I highly doubt, even though he's been limited in practice, I highly doubt he's going to miss this one. Jimmy G has completed the concussion protocol. He's been full practice on Saturday, and so I think he's good to go. But let me know, guys. I think McDaniels earlier in the week said if Jimmy G is good to go, he's going to be the starter. Let me know if you want to see Jimmy G or if you want to see Aiden O'Connell. Let me know in those comments. I have a video. Check out the video that I have, whether or not you want AOC or Jimmy G, and I give you my opinion in that video. So go check out that video if you have a chance. Nate Hobbs is officially out, which is a killer. Nate Hobbs is not only one of our best DBs, but one of our best defensive players. He's been ruled out with that ankle injury that's been lingering for the last couple of weeks. So that's a killer. Jacorian Bennett has been limited in practice, but it looks like he's going to play. Malcolm Kuntz, he was questionable earlier in the week, but he did come off Saturday with a full participation. So he's going to be good. And that's key. Malcolm Kuntz has been looking good the last few weeks. That's the reason why the production of Max Crosby has been high. And so we need him. And then Max Crosby, he's been shown as limited participation in practice all week, but I got no worries on whether or not he's going to play. So I think he's good. So that kind of sums up the Raiders injury report. When it comes to Green Bay, their stud, number one defensive player, Jair Alexander, he's been limited. I think he's going to play. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't, but it has shown that he was limited. So I think he's good to go, but we'll see. I think it's more of a game time situation. Devondre Campbell, he's considered out, which is a huge hit to that Green Bay defense. He's one of their best linebackers, has great production on the defensive side. He's rolled out, so that's a hit to them. Luke Musgrave was on concussion protocol, but it looks like he was in full participation the last couple of days of practice, so he's good to go. Christian Watson, their stud receiver, he's been limited in practice. I think he's going to be a game time situation, but I don't see why he won't. He won't play. This is actually a huge part, and this is going to be one of my keys to victory later in the video. But there's about 3 offensive linemen that are listed on the injury report for Green Bay, either limited participation or doubtful. And Green Bay's offensive line is already beat up. They are struggling when it comes to pass production. They played the Lions last week, and the Lions DN, Aiden Hutchinson, and the entire Lions D line just had a field day against against Jordan Love and that Green Bay offense. So they're beat up. That means our D line needs to have success this coming Monday night against Green Bay. So that kind of sums up the injury report. And next, I kind of want to break down my keys to victory, some of the things that we need to see happen Monday night in order for us to really have a good chance at defeating Green Bay and really not get to that dreaded 1-4 record. So I'll kind of start with the offensive side. One, and this is some of these keys are going to be the same keys I've been stressing for the last couple of weeks because nothing's really changed. So you might hear the same keys to victory as you heard last week on my pregame review against the Chargers. But again, because we have not improved, it's going to be a repeat of themselves. So first things first, win the time of possession battle. We are one of the worst when it comes to number of offensive plays during the game, and we are one of the worst offenses when it comes to time of possession. We have to give our defense a little bit of rest on the defense side of the ball. We got to sustain drives. And the way that you gain confidence as an offense is you have those 8, 9, 10 play drives, get yourself into field goal range, get those 3 points, or even finish it off with a touchdown. But you have to sustain the drives because it may not finish in points, but most of the time you can gain a momentum. You can start to kind of understand what your offensive strategy is going to be, what's working, what's not throughout the course of a game. But if you keep going 3 and out, you can't figure anything out. So we have to keep that time of possession. We have to sustain drives so we can understand what is the defense trying to do and how can we capitalize off of it and get some rhythm and some momentum. So time of possession is huge. And we need to see the deep ball. We have to throw the ball deep for many reasons. One, we got to show it. We got to show that we can hit all levels of the field. We can hit the deep ball, the mid, the shallow ball. And what's that going to do? That's going to open up the run game. That's going to open up the run game for Josh Jacobs. He's the reigning rushing champion. He hasn't been able to get going this season. We're going to be 5 games in going into this week, and he still has not been able to gain ground in the running game. And it puts a lot of pressure on our O-line. When the defense can just stack 8, 9 in the box and bring the pressure, that puts a lot of pressure on the O-line. We got to extend that ball. We got to take the deep shots. We got to take at least 6 to 7 deep shots. Hopefully we complete, 2, possibly 3 of them. But even if we don't, at least shows that we're attempting to. That's going to loosen everything up. It's going to force the defense to play honest. So we got to see the deep ball at least 6 to 7 times this week. And O-line's got to be prepared for pressure. Green Bay has been known to bring pressure. They blitz around 40% of the time, and they get to the quarterback around 40% of the time, which isn't surprising. So the O-line has to be prepared for pressure. So, lastly, on the offensive side, we got to get others involved. Every single week, it's the Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers show. Those are the 2 receivers that Jimmy G or Aiden O'Connell are just targeting day in and day out. Last time I checked, we spent a 2nd-round draft pick on Michael Mayer and a 3rd-round draft pick on Trey Tucker. And Trey Tucker is one of the fastest guys in the league. He can stretch that field. He can get downfield quick. We got to get other guys involved. And another guy that's just been non-existent, which is shocking to, I think, almost all Raider fans, is Hunter Renfrow. We coined the phrase 3rd and Renfrow for a reason back when we had, not last year, but the year before, the couple years before that, he was our key target on 3rd down because majority of the time he would get it, but he's been non-existent. We got to get the other guys involved. We have to force the defense to honor all of our targets. So right now it's been Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams. That's been our offense. We have to share the ball. We got to get others involved. So let's jump on to the defense side. We got to bring pressure early. We got to make Jordan Love uncomfortable. We can't let their ground game, Aaron Jones, he's shown some good work on the ground game, but guess what? He's been injured a little bit. So we can't let him get going. Make him make some hard cuts, make him cut a couple times in that backfield. And, it might slow him down. You never know. It might re-aggravate another or his injury. Make it hard on him. Don't let things become easy to this offense. So we got to bring pressure early. We got to make sure that Jordan Love doesn't get comfortable. And then biggest thing, and we saw it last week, minimize the bonehead plays. You know, last week against the Chargers, we had an offsides with David Long Jr., which led to a touchdown. We had Jerry Tillery had a bonehead late hit, led to a touchdown. You take away those two plays, there's a good chance that if they're not touchdowns, maybe they're field goals. And instead of going into halftime, down 7-24, maybe we're down 7-17. You know, you could take almost a full score off the scoreboard if you just minimize the bonehead plays. So, got to minimize the bonehead plays. And then we got to, even though we have to minimize the big plays out of the passing game, obviously Christian Watson's a big deep threat. Romeo Dobbs is really looking like he's turning it on. Force them to get in long passing situations. But remember, you cannot forget about Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones has made most of his production this year in the passing game. They're dumping him off on play passes in the flats, screen plays, stuff like that, and he's turning them into 20, 30-yard gains. Even though we get them in third and long, and the hope is that we do. But if you get them in, third and long situations, just know Aaron Jones is a huge threat to catch and get those 20, 30-yard gains in the passing game. So that's what he's been doing the majority of this year. So get them in long third down situations, but do not forget how potent Aaron Jones is in those type of situations. So, and last but not least, key to victory, Josh McDaniels, you need to prove you can call a good game and call good plays in crucial situations. It's been back-to-back games, Steelers game and Chargers game, where you basically crumbled under pressure. You kicked the field goal instead of going for the points late in the Steelers game, which was just a bonehead call. And then you passed the ball on first and goal when we needed a touchdown. When you have Josh Jacobs in the backfield and you have a rookie quarterback starting against a division rival and you had 4 tries from the 4-yard line to get in and you pass on first down, and it's a pick. You have to prove that you can get others involved. You have to prove that you can call a good game. And once we come out and we score, which we most of the time do, first drive, second drive of the game, we drive down and we score a touchdown and then we just go flat. You have to show that we can have some consistency throughout the entire game. You haven't shown it at all this season, and our record reflects it. So, Josh McDaniels, you have to prove that you can call a good game throughout the entire game, but also call the right plays in crucial situations. So, guys, that's kind of my keys to victory. Again, let me know if you think I missed anything. Let me know what your keys to the victory are in the comments below. But man, I hope we come out with a win, because right now we're an embarrassing 1-3, but we could easily be a devastating 1-4, which would kill any playoff hopes we have, and that is horrible to think about so early in the season. I want to be able to root for our Raiders through the entire season with the hopes that we can make the playoffs. So this game's huge. Raider Nation, come big, come loud, and I'll be hitting you with a post-game reaction video after the game. So again, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification button, because when I release that video, I want you to know it's out and I want your reaction to it. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me, and I hope we come out with a win on Monday night. So until the next video, Raider Nation, I appreciate you guys, and I'm out.